Hello students, today in this video I will discuss the remaining part of the chapter physical and chemical changes that I have already started, and I will explain the question answers also. So I ended my previous or last video with oxidation and reduction. Now what is oxidizing and reducing agent? Oxidizing agent loses oxygen or any electronegative radical. They gain hydrogen or any electropositive radical. They are the acceptors of electrons, whereas the reducing agent gains oxygen or electronegative radical, loses hydrogen or electropositive radical, and they are the donor of electrons. Now in simple way we can say oxidizing agent are the agents which can undergo oxidation which can undergo reduction for themselves but can oxidize the others. That's why they are termed as oxidizing agent, whereas reducing agents are the agents which can undergo oxidation for themselves but can reduce the other. So they are known as reducing agents. Examples of some oxidizing and reducing agents are, first I am taking this equation. H2S hydrogen sulfide plus chlorine Cl2, the products are 2HCl and S. You can see over here H2S to S. Here removal of hydrogen is occurring, that is oxidation, and Cl to HCl, here addition of hydrogen is occurring, that is reduction. I said the substance which is going for the oxidation, it will be the reducing agent, and the substance which is going for the reduction will be the oxidizing agent. So here H2S is the reducing agent and Cl2 is the oxidizing agent. You can solve the following problems. Here you have to find out which one is oxidizing agents and which one reducing agents. H2S plus 2FeCl3 forming 2FeCl2 plus 2HCl plus S. Second one H2S plus Cl2, 2HCl plus S. Third one 2 copper plus O2 oxygen forming 2 CuO copper oxide. Fourth one H2S plus 2HNO3 forming 2H2O plus 2NO2 plus sulfur. And the last one 2H2S plus SO2 forming 2H2O plus 3S. Now energy change in a chemical change. We know during a chemical change there is a loss of energy or gain of energy. So loss of energy or gain of energy, these all energy changes are occurring in according to the absorption of heat or releasing of heat. So we have two termed like exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction, in a reaction where heat is released, that is exothermic reaction. You can see I have written over here plus delta T. Plus delta T is the amount of heat energy that is releasing during the reaction. Here nitrogen plus 3H2 hydrogen combining together to form ammonia, plus delta T, this amount of heat is releasing. Next one, hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. It is also known as exothermic reaction. This is the catalytic oxidation of ammonia forming NO and water. This is an exothermic reaction. For endothermic reaction, where heat is absorbed, here minus delta T, that means heat is absorbed from the surroundings or the atmosphere. Nitrogen combines with oxygen to form nitric oxide. Here this amount of heat is absorbed for this reaction. Carbon plus H2O, CO carbon monoxide plus hydrogen, here heat is absorbed. Calcium carbonate will decompose to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide by the absorption of this amount of heat. Next one, burning or combustion. Burning or combustion is also an oxidation reaction. Here oxygen is needed. Without oxygen, burning cannot happen. Here heat and light is produced during oxidation reaction, or during the burning or combustion, heat and light is produced. What are the conditions now? Condition means the substance which is burned must be combustible substance. For example, coal, coke, wood, petrol, alcohol, paper, etc. All will be combustible substances. And presence of a substance which is supporter of combustion. That means a substance which can increase the burning rate, or which is the supporter of burning or combustion, should be present, like oxygen, chlorine, etc. Now, during burning, there is a change in mass of the substance. By this experiment, we can prove that during burning, there is a change in mass of the substance. Here, a candle is placed on a cork as shown here. A candle is placed on a cork. Next, here I have taken soda lime to absorb carbon dioxide, anhydrous CaCl2, anhydrous calcium chloride, which is a dehydrating agent, is taken to absorb water vapor, and these are taken on a wire gauge. Now, what will happen? When the candle is lit, the weight of the apparatus, the whole apparatus is suspended from a beam balance, and when the candle is burned, the weight is seen that it is observed that the weight of this apparatus, hereby we can weigh it by the help of this beam balance, the weight of this apparatus will increase, because when the candle burns, the mass of the products are greater than the mass of the original candle. Here CXHY, this is hydrocarbon, this is a candle. On burning, it will melt first, then vaporize, then it will decompose into hydrogen and carbon. This hydrogen and carbon will combine with atmospheric oxygen to form water and carbon dioxide. Next, another reaction is the respiration. All of we know that during photosynthesis, plant can make their own food as glucose. When glucose is burned in presence of oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide and water. All of we know that when any hydrocarbon, glucose is carbohydrate, any hydrocarbon will burn, it will produce CO2 and water always, with the releasing amount of this energy. So we can say respiration is also an oxidation process. Another oxidation process is rusting. What is rusting? You can see when iron is kept in open atmosphere after some days, you will notice that a fluffy brown color substance will coat the iron metal. This fluffy brown color substance is known as rust. Rust is nothing but it's iron oxide, ferric oxide, this iron oxide. Iron combines with oxygen to form iron oxide with water in presence of water. This is also an oxidation reaction. Now we will solve the unit test paper which is given at back of that chapter in your book, Physical and Chemical Changes. State which of the following 1 to 5 pertain to physical change and chemical change. First one, composition of the molecules of the substance is altered. It is a chemical change because in chemical change only we can see the compositions are changing. Second one, change takes place in color and solubility of substances only. This is physical change. Energy required for completion of the change is released on reversing the change. It is a chemical change because in a chemical change, energy either is absorbed or released. Matter undergoes changes, but the total mass is unaltered. This is a physical change. Change takes place in form of state only. This is also a physical change. Next one, state which of the changes given below are A, B, C. Here we have to consider which one is physical change, which one is chemical change. Oxidation of food substance in body cells. This is a chemical change. Sublimation of iodine. This is an example of physical change. Clotting of blood. We can say this is both physical and chemical change. Heat on zinc carbonate. On heating, zinc carbonate will decompose to form zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. Obviously, it is a chemical change. Burning of magnesium. This is also a chemical change. Next one, give reason for the following. Addition of zinc to dilute hydrochloric acid is a chemical change. Why? When hydrochloric acid, dilute hydrochloric acid is added to zinc, zinc chloride and hydrogen are formed. So we are in this reaction, we are getting new products with the absorption or evolution of energy. That is that's why it is a chemical change. Next one, change of state of matter is a physical change. State of matter, change of state of matter from liquid to vapor or vapor to liquid, from solid to liquid or liquid to solid. These are the states, change of states of matter. So whenever you melt an ice, you will get water on heating. If you cool it, if you freeze it, again you will get back the ice. So it's a physical change. Next one, burning and respiration are considered as chemical changes. In both cases, burning and respiration, oxygen is needed. And during this burning and respiration, in both cases, we will get heat and light. In case of burning, we will get large amount of heat and light. And in case of respiration, we will get less amount of heat. So in both cases, there is a energy change and they are forming a new substance. In case of burning, we are getting carbon dioxide and water. In case of respiration also, we are getting carbon dioxide and water. So it is termed as chemical change. Photosynthesis is considered a photochemical reaction. Why I said a photochemical reaction means the decomposition of any product in presence of light. In presence of light, the reaction which occurs in presence of light are known as photochemical reactions. So photosynthesis cannot be occurred without sunlight. That's why photosynthesis is considered a photochemical reaction. Energy released during respiration and burning differ. In case of burning, much more amount of heat is released. In case of respiration, less amount of heat is released. So energy released during respiration and burning differ like this. State the conditions or factors from list 2 which is needed to initiate the chemical change in list 1. Formation of lead oxide and oxygen from trilead tetroxide. The answer will be heat. If you heat Pb3O4, it will decompose to form lead oxide and oxygen. Next one, formation of a precipitate from AgNO3 solution and dilute HCl. This is a close contact. Until and unless you will not mix that AgNO3 and dilute HCl, they will not react. Formation of oxygen from potassium chloride is the preparation of oxygen from potassium chloride, which is enhanced by the presence of catalyst. The rate of reaction will be increased in presence of catalyst. Next one, conversion of nitrogen to ammonia using hydrogen. For this, pressure, and photosynthesis, this is light. So that's all for today. I will start a new chapter in my next video.